Graphing piecewise defined functions, problem 32 of the summer assignment. Graphing piecewise defined functions is not really as hard or as intimidating as it might look. You just need to take each step at a time. What I recommend doing is you look at each curve or line that you have to graph. Let's start with the first one. Let's start with y equals 1. What this piecewise defined function says that the graph has that part of the graph of y equals 1 providing x is less than 0. So what I'm going to do is to graph y equals 1 first of all with a dotted line. But I don't really want the whole line. I only want the portion of the line that corresponds to y being less than 0, this portion of the graph. I don't want to include 0 itself, so I'm going to put an open circle when x is 0. Now I'm going to do the next graph as a dotted line. I'm going to graph y equals root x. That's one of the graphs that's on your cheat sheet as one of the graphs you've got to know cold this year. And let's graph that. 0, 0 is on the graph. When x is 1, y is 1. When x is 4, y is 2. And when x is 9, y would be 3. And again, I'm going to get that as a dotted line. There it is. But I don't want all this graph. I only need the portion when x starts at 0 and goes to 4. I want to include 0, so a closed circle there. I do not want to include 4, so an open circle there. And I don't want the rest of the graph. The last graph I need to do is the graph of a half x minus 1. There it is. Okay, that's going to be a straight line with a y-intercept of -1. So here's a y-intercept of -1. And it has a slope of a half, which means what? Rise over run. 1 over 2 means a rise of, let me just do this like this, a rise of 1, and the run is 2, so the next point it will go through would be here, 2, 0. Rise over run here, okay, rise over run, rise over run. Okay, so here is the graph. Again, I'm going to do it as a dotted line. I don't know which portion I'm going to take. Here we go. Well, which portion do I take? The portion that goes between 4 and 6. X is 4. I don't include, yes, I do include 4. And to 6, I do include 6. Here is the piece of that graph that I want. I don't want all the rest. I can quickly erase them, and hey presto, that is my piecewise defined function. I check that I've got the correct closed and open circles, and this looks pretty good.